Hi, my name is Shane Martin, and this is my television drama series An Gorta Mor. So, the series premise. So, we're placed in the famine-ravaged town of Cloghore in 1846. This is where we meet a young woman named Maebh O Connor as we witness her struggle to provide for herself and her younger brother Oisín after her parents died the year prior to illness. A day like no other begins as Maebh walks Oisín to his poitín making job with the local poitín maker, village wise man and father figure Cathal. They spot Cathal's camp from afar. As they approach closely, they realise that Cathal is making a shady transaction with 3 British soldiers from the nearby British garrison. Maebh questions him and Cathal brushes it off as if it's nothing. Later that day, Lorcan, the village hunter, spots the garrison leader, Captain Edward Armstrong, watching the village suspiciously from afar. He then warns Cloghore, and it all falls on deaf ears. That night, Maebh and Oisin go to bed and are woken by the smell of smoke and the feeling of flames. Lorcan, realising their trap, smashes down their door and rescues them. As they flee the burning hut, they realise the whole village around them is on fire. They find Cathal and the local smuggler queen, Orla, as our gang is then forced together by flames and prosecution when Captain Armstrong notices them slip away. The group has now become the target for a relentless manhunt as Captain Armstrong demands they be found. They try to escape Crown forces and they attempt to board a ship to New York City in Derry, with Orla's provided 5 tickets and her navigational skills. Maebh O Connor, her age is 18, her occupation is the village washer, and her appearance, as you can see, is slim with brown hair and hazel eyes. Her background is she was born and raised in Cloghore County Donegal, and her personality is independent, resilient, loyal and caring. Her skills and interests are a guitar player, a singer and an Irish ballad player. Her relationships are Oisín, her loving brother, Orla, her dependable friend and peer, Cathal, her father figure, Lorcan, her loyal confidant, and her current status is struggling to get by but supported by her circle. Her motivations are survival and freedom and kindness, and her weaknesses are naivety and reliancy. So we have our supporting cast sketches here. So we have Oisín, Maebh's brother. He's outgoing, ambitious, and he has a lust for life. He is handy around the village. He puts a smile on everyone's face. He always has good intentions, but sometimes struggles to keep thinking to himself and can feel overwhelmed with important information. We have Orla. She is fiercely loyal and an independent woman who has a wide range of smuggling network to her own wit and charm and survival skills, being nicknamed the smuggler queen of the northwest. Cathal. He acts as a wise man to the village, telling stories, brewing poaching, singing songs. He also has a parental side, and he's extremely charitable and giving to the O'Connors. Cathal will and has done anything in the name of self-preservation. Lorcan is the village outsider. He has a cold demeanour and doesn't interact with anyone other than Maebh. He has a soft spot for the O'Connors as he supplies them with game, as he's a master hunter with a bow and arrow. He's dark past with the disappearance of his family and his rebel past, making him a man marked for death in the eyes of Captain Edward Armstrong. Now we're on to Captain Edward Armstrong, our villain. His age is 38. His occupation is British garrison captain, and his appearance is blonde, short hair, piercing blue eyes and pale skin. His background is born in Somerset, and his personality is calculating with a superiority complex. His profile is he pulls on people's emotions with false deals and promises only to betray them in the end. His current status is ruling the northwest with an iron fist, and his motivations are pumping the people of Ireland for all their resources and to quell rebellions. His weakness is he's cocky, he has a big ego and the inability to let things slide or go, which can lead to your downfall. So we have space and place, the Irish northwest during the famine. So we have 2 photos here in black and white of County Donegal and the houses in this area during the time period. So a lot of bungalows and huts. That's what Cloghore would look like at this time period. I have some greenery here to showcase. This is greenery in County Donegal to showcase the type of forests the characters will be moving through in Fermanagh and County Derry. And then I have a very famous drawing of a famine victim and her 2 daughters, just to showcase what the people looked like at this time period and the kind of people they encountered. And then I have the famine memorial here that's in Dublin City, actually, just to showcase that it is actually a very touchy subject and it is something to be respected. And also to showcase this is a live showcasing of what the people look like at this time period. Right, so we're into story A. Which is mostly the main plot and Maebh's story. So firstly we have the inciting incident. Maebh and Oisin spot Cathal up to something suspicious to 3 British soldiers right before the burning, and then it ends with Maebh and Oisin, Cathal, Lorcan and Orla being chased with no hope but to go to New York. Then the journey, which is literally in a journey as they embark on the journey down the smuggler's path with Orla. We have the crisis at the midway point, when the group are at a safe haven with one of Orla's connections, where Maebh and Oisin search Cathal's bag and uncover the truth that Oisín already felt. Then we have the climax, when it gets ugly. Oisín blurts out about Cathal's involvement with the burning, leaving him behind, almost killing him. On the final stretch to Derry, they then get confronted by Captain Armstrong, and then we have the resolution, where at the end Cathal appears out of nowhere, saving the day. So now we're on to story B, which obviously happens in the background. So we have Maebh and Oisin, of course, spotting Cathal up to something suspicious, but later that day Lorcan then spots Captain Armstrong spying on the village of Cloghore. He then warns the village people, and Cathal tells the people not to worry. This is secretly because Cathal has struck on a deal, and there's also some tension between Lorcan and Captain Armstrong staring at each other, which is unknown at the time. Then we have Lorcan confessing his rebel past and how people around him aren't safe, saying that he needs to go and it's the only course of action to keep everyone safe. Cathal encourages this greatly while the others want him to stay. We know this now because he wants him gone because he's marked up for death. Cathal has sold Lorcan down the river to Captain Armstrong. Oisín sees right through this and he suffers an anxiety attack on his own because he loves Cathal but he knows he's lying. Then we're on to Cathal. Feeling a distance between him and Oisín, Cathal asks him straight up what is going on, and Oisín tells him that he knows he's done something. Oisín and Maebh then search his bag and uncover the truth. Oisín then spills the beans, leaving both Cathal and him heartbroken as they leave Cathal behind in the cottage. Then Cathal in the end saves the group and tells Oisín and Maebh that he loves them. Lorcan also decides to stay behind at this time to take care of unfinished business. We know it has something to do with his family, his rebel past, and possibly Captain Armstrong. So we're in the story C, which is mostly Captain Armstrong. So Captain Armstrong makes eye contact with Lorcan, and they hold this for a while tension builds to let the audience know there's some kind of history. He then burns down Cloghore and demands Lorcan and any of his accomplices. Then we're on to Captain Armstrong as he tracks the group as they embark on their journey. Armstrong reveals to his men at the garrison that Lorcan's a famous rebel and there's a hefty price on his head, and they also are joined by the smuggler queen, infamous to the area, Orla. Then we're on to Captain Armstrong returning to Ederney. He tortures the villagers for information, and then he gets his information about how the group are heading towards Derry via the Strabane Road to make the McCorkle line out of the country. Then we're on to Captain Armstrong as he confronts the group. Then Cathal attacks him, of course, and then this leaves Captain Armstrong as he survives the encounter. And he thinks the group are gone, and he has no idea that Lorcan is actually dead, and he has no idea what Lorcan's intentions are, and neither do we really. So An Gorta Mor aims to attract a wide audience, but it would pull a lot of history enthusiasts in, particularly Irish history enthusiasts. It would have a huge appeal with younger people, as our two main characters are teenagers, particularly Maebh, our protagonist, who's an 18-year-old. It would have a wide pull from drama fans, particularly historical drama, political drama, resistance drama, and interpersonal drama between our characters. It would have appeal to people who enjoy action adventures. We see them embark on the journey of a lifetime. It also would have a huge pull from people who love Irish folklore and Irish cultural stories. It also has a lot of well-written, really good, dynamic characters, and it showcases the willpower and the survival of the human spirit. It honestly, I think it shows the tenacity of the human spirit in one of the darkest times in Ireland. Ireland left this disaster with 2 million less people, and it can show how people survive these times and not just the sadness. Potential broadcaster, BBC One. BBC One is a perfect home for An Gorta Mor, as it is peak time television drama with highly emotional stakes holding an audience weekly. It is a period drama. BBC is known for this with shows like Peaky Blinder. An intense interpersonal drama with the Irish Paheel famine as a backdrop is exactly what the BBC wants. Strong storytelling. An Gorta Mor would continue the BBC's tradition of strong character-driven storytelling. An Irish audience, the BBC has a wide range of audiences in Northern Ireland and in the Republic of Ireland. Diversity and inclusion. Maebh, a young, resilient woman making women connect with her. Oisín represents the misunderstood character showing neurodivergency. Orla is a strong, confident woman in a time when women were told no. Adventure. An Gorta Mor fills the void missing in the BBC's category right now. Originality. It is an original show, and I haven't seen an idea like this anywhere. Returnability. The ending of Season 1 of An Gorta Mor allows a continuing storyline of Lorcan's character, as we could see a prequel series or a Season 2 continuing with his path. Ultimately, what I want to show with this show is the tenacity of the human spirit and the interpersonal relationships between people in desperate times, and how in self-defense or trying to protect others we can end up doing a lot more bad or good. It is important to tell stories because history is important. It is important to remember who we are and where we came from, and stories like this about real life events, about people from this time, are important to show that we haven't forgot them. Making great stories with history connects us all, and the show about the potato blight is even more important today, to educate people about how it happened, how it wasn't just a potato blight but an injustice done by the British government, and how we can prevent it from ever happening again, which is very important with current world events today. This has been An Gorta Mor by Shane Martin. Thank you so much for listening.